but I guess this is applicable for B2 as well, right? So this is to use a Cuban method to brainstorm ideas, especially when they are writing an essay. What is the purpose? Why I chose this topic, writing in a Cuban method? Because I observed that students, they struggle a lot to come up with ideas when they have to write an essay, because mostly in C1 and even in B2, I guess the essay topics are heavily academic. They have to write about topics related to global issues such as tourism, environmental problems. Even though these topics were taught in class and in lesson, students they are blank when they have to write an essay. So when we are going to do writing, students take too much time. Even with the simple topics, they are really unmotivated to write and to do writing. And the thing I'm most disappointed about in C1 level is they rely a lot on ChatGPT and Google. When you give them assignment, they get through it. Of course, they are using these external resources to help them. But if you are asking them to do in-class writing or in exam, they suffer. And they are writing, they could not even finish one paragraph. So that's the issue that we are facing. So a lot of students find it hard to generate ideas, and their ideas are very repetitive. They would write about the same point again and again, and also very shallow. Even though they are good speakers, they have great ideas, they contribute great ideas in speaking, and also some of them are very creative, but they could not demonstrate the same capacities in writing. And a lot of the students, they are very confident when they have to do on-spot writing. What I wanted to find out is the Cuban method. Does it help students to come up with ideas independently? Is it time efficient and practical? Because students take a lot of time brainstorming ideas. One of the students admit that it took her like 1 hour or 2 hours just to think about what to write in the essay. And also, by using the Cuban method, the quality improves. When speaking of quality, I'm talking about the originality, because a lot of the essays are not original, because the ideas come from ChatGPT. So what exactly is Cuban method? It's a kind of a brainstorming strategy used in process writing. It is developed by Tricia Hedge. I found that idea from this book, Writing by Tricia Hedge. So this is to encourage. This Cuban method do not look at the topic from one perspective or one direction. It is to look from the different perspective, and also this will help students coming up with the ideas for writing. According to the original Cuban method, there are 6 stages. The first stage is students describe the topic. Then after that, they are going to compare the topic with others, and they are going to analyze, associate, argue, and apply. But for me, I adapted a little bit for my Cuban method for my class, because they are learning to write counter argument. So I also include counter argument as stage 7. So this is the original Cuban method, right? First, students are going to describe about the topic. For example, if it is tourism, they have to define what exactly is tourism. How do they define, how do they come up with the explanation for tourism? And then they are going to compare different different types of tourism. For example, we have ecotourism and mass tourism. Then they are going to analyze the topic in more details, which means they are going to come up with the examples, evidence, and also they are going to differentiate. And they are going to associate, which is more like personalizing. Maybe if we are talking about tourism, students can relate with the impact of tourism in their hometown or in their. And then they are going to argue, so which means they are going to provide their opinion about it. So do they think that tourism is really helpful for a country? Does it contribute does it contribute to a country's income? And what are the, or on the other hand, tourism is harmful. And then the last stage is applying. So maybe they are going to come up with the solutions. So let me share the worksheet I developed for my class. In my class, students learning to write the advantages and disadvantages essay. Right, and I really wanted to educate them about the use of AI. So the topic that I assigned them to write is the advantages and disadvantages of using AI. Then I prepared the 7 stages, actually 8 stages, based on the original Cuban method. So for describing what is AI, I give them some questions to scaffold the process easier. Then, as for the step 2, they are going to provide examples like what tools or what products that they are using in their real life. And also they can talk about their personal experience with AI. And then for step 3, since it is the essay is advantages and disadvantages, I make sure that they can